So next we are going with TestNG. TestNG is a Selenium framework tool. And there are a couple of tools available in the market. One is called TestNG, another one is called JUnit, next one is called NUnit. And both the TestNG and JUnit, we can use it, but we cannot use NUnit, because when we work Selenium with Java, we can use either JUnit or TestNG. NUnit is for .NET platform. It means when you are working Selenium with C#, then we can use NUnit. TestNG cannot support for C#. It is for .NET platform. Okay. Why we are calling these are frameworks, Selenium framework? The main reason is, if you see in your script, there are many drawbacks are here. What are those drawbacks? The main drawback here is, there is no proper reporting system at all. There is no proper reporting system. Whatever the script, you can take it, when you execute it, the result, either you are seeing it in a console or something, or else there is no other way. Right? So if the console, once you close it, that's it. Next time if I am asking you a result, there is no result available. Once again you have to execute, then only you can find the result. I don't want that mechanism. I want to save my result. I don't want this mechanism. I want to save my result. So once I execute, automatically it should create a folder here. Your last executed result should be here. Whenever I want to refer it. Okay. So in the Selenium there is no proper reporting system. TestNG contains that reporting system. One thing. Second thing, the main method you can completely replace it. So for executing the script, we are using Java execution. So in the Java execution, we are using the main method. I don't want to use main method. Without main method, I can execute it. Second thing. So for that, there are certain terminologies are there. One is called annotation, another one is called attribute. Using these things, these two things, we can manage it. Third thing, I can prioritize my test cases. I mean, which one should be executed first, which one should be executed next, like that I can prioritize it. Okay, so like that many features are there with TestNG, so we'll be going with the TestNG now. So there are two tools we can use it, Selenium with Java. One is TestNG, another one is JUnit. We are not using JUnit, we are going with TestNG. Why? Because JUnit at most it is deprecated. Deprecated means what? The TestNG is advanced one. So whatever the facilities available in JUnit, as it is available in TestNG, along with that TestNG contains some additional features also. So the one thing is, it contains a reporting system. The second thing here is, you can replace the main method by using annotations, and you can control the execution order. It means you can prioritize your test by using attributes like that. And the third thing is, the fourth thing is, you can execute the scripts parallelly. More than one script simultaneously you can execute it. And the fifth thing here, you can create a test short, you can execute it. Assume that till now we have executed only one file only. So if there are multiple clauses, so if you want to execute multiple clauses one by one, we need to create a short. So once we click, it should execute all the files one by one. Got it, right? So all these things can be done via the TestNG. NG means next generation. Okay, right? Fine. So before using TestNG, you need to configure the TestNG. So how do we configure the TestNG? I will give that PPT, that WebDriver PPT. Did you receive it? No? Okay, I will forward that PPT. So whatever we are discussing, everything I have documented it here. Can use it. Okay. So how to configure the TestNG also I have given it here. Okay. Fine. TestNG configuration, how can we do it here is, go to help, you can say install new software. Okay, install new software. Here you can click add button. There you can specify TestNG. Then you can type the location from where we need to download the TestNG. So that the location I have given it here. So this is the site. Yeah. Make sure that you should have internet connection, because it will connect to this specific site. It will download those jar files and it will add it to your project. Okay, just click OK. Okay. So in my case it is already installed. Okay, here it will display TestNG like that. It will display. So once it is displaying, right, you can select that TestNG. Then once you select it, then the next button will be enabled. You can click next. It will automatically install. Okay. In actually my case, it has been already installed. You can find the TestNG. Okay. So then you can wait for some time. Then what it will do is that the TestNG, that option will be displaying it here. You can select that checkbox. Once you select it, the next button will be enabled. You can click next. It will work. That's it only. See, it's coming here, right? Select it. Now the next button is there. Click it. It will install it automatically. Clear? I don't want to do it because it is already installed in my system. Okay, I'm cancelling it now. That's it only. So the configuration is very simple. Fine. After this, I'm creating a new package. Package name itself I'm giving TestNG. NG means next generation. Okay. I'm creating one new test. 5 class. Okay. 1. Fine. Now okay. Now we have our login script. I will copy paste our login script. Okay. So now I have a script. It will open this specific application and it will enter username, password. It will log in. Right. Fine. So if you want to execute, I have a main method. Using the main method, I am executing it. Right. So then when I run it, it is a Java execution. Right. And you cannot find any result at all. So if you want to see the result, what you need to do? Only the console. Right. Now what I will do it is, instead of using main method, I am using my own method. So if the script is sitting inside a main method, assume that you are writing some script, and there also if you need to do the login functionality, then you have to write the script once again. Why? This login is sitting inside my main method, you cannot do inheritance. Got it, right? So inheritance means main method is not a member of a class. So it means you cannot access the script whatever available inside a main method, you cannot access in other scripts. So I need to create it as my own method. How I am doing it here? Public void. You can say the script name itself I am doing login. Okay. Now fine. So now I have created one method. This method contains one test case. What is that test case? Log into that application. Correct? Okay. Fine. Now others, if you want to do the login, you can access from my script. You can do that inheritance and you can access this method in your script. Okay, fine. Here if you want to execute this, what I need to do, I need to create a main method. Then I need to create that object. Then by using object, I can access this method. Got it, right? That's why this is the Java syntax. Okay. So if I want to execute this method, I will create that object. By using an object only, I am executing this method. Either the entire thing should be there within the main method, Or else if you are creating it as your own user-defined method, then you have to call this method. For calling the method, you have to have main method. There you are creating an object. Using that object name, you are calling the method. That's only when it executes. Got it right? Now we are not going to do all these things because we are not executing our script by using Java. We are executing our script by using testng. Then I remove this. What I will do it is simply before your method, I will keep one testng annotation. Annotations begin with @ symbol. All the annotations begin with @ symbol. And I am using, there is one annotation called test. There is one annotation, it is called test. Right? I am using it. Fine. Then I need to import it. Okay. See, when I am pointing it, it is saying that import test annotation from where? org.jinit. I don't want to import from jinit. I want to import from where? Testng. So now here also you can see both the jinit, testng, both are having the same annotations. Okay, but the testng annotation, it will be easy to implement as well as it contains additional features also. So I am going with add testng libraries. Fine. Then I am going with import C. You can find the testng annotation. I am adding it. That's it. You know what is the power of this annotation? You do not need main method. You do not create that object. You can directly execute this method. So now we can call this method as a test case. There is one test case we have automated. What is that test case? Login functionality. Right, fine. After this, while execution, we are not doing this Java execution, we will be executing by using testng. How? You can select your script, right click, run as testng test. Then click OK. See, you no need to do anything, just, yeah, that's it only. See, now you see, it is executing. Got it right? It has executed. Now we'll see the result here. So see, this is the testng reporting system. Each and every method, it will consider it as one test case. So now there is one test case. What is your test case name? Login. So now the login test case, it is saying that it has passed. Green, see, there are total test is 1, and out of 1 passed. Failed 0, passed 1, skipped 0. Got it right? Fine. Now you can see here in your project, once you refresh it, it will create one more folder. That folder is test output. Like that, it will create a folder. There, the last executed result will be stored. Right click, refresh it. Done. You can see it here, test output. Once you see it here, there are many files will be there. So you can go to index.html and emailable report.html. One is index. Right click, open with web browser. Okay. See that the results are storing it here. It is saying that there is totally one test and there are totally one method. That one is passed. And passed method, you can see it here. What is that passed method? The method name is called login, which is sitting inside a class name. What is the class name? Testng demo1. It is sitting inside one package. What is the package name? Testng package. Got it right? Fine. In case if it is failed right, it will show that message also when I click it. Okay. Now this is index.html and one more report is there. Emailable. So emailable means you can just right click. Here this is open. You can open this. Here also there is the package name and this is your class name. There is one text and the text is passed. Okay, and the execution time, everything it will show here, and you can click login In case if it fails in the sense, it won't display in the green color, it will be displaying in red color. Once you click this login, right, automatically it will show the fail. Okay. So now we will intentionally make our script fail now. What I'm doing here is, I need to compare after doing the login, I need to verify whether it is landing to the right page or not. If it is landing to the right page, then pause, or else it is fail. Right? This is a half-cooked script. We need to complete it. For that, I am actually capturing the title. So, driver dot get title. So this is capturing the title of the page. So I am assigning it to one string actual page title. Okay. In middle, I will wait for some time. Because after logging in, it might take some time. We'll wait. Okay, fine. Now, so this is the actual title coming. What? Find a flight, Mercury Tours. Now, my expected title might be reservation. So now what I will do? Yes. Dot content equals, my expected is, assume that reservation. Right, now we are writing like this. If I do like this, right, now we know that it will fail. Why? The actual page title is Find a Flight Mercury Tours, but your expectation is reservation. Intentionally we have written it. When I execute, it will say fail only, but it won't, it actually won't say fail your script. It will see only the message will display inside in the console. What it will print? Login failed only. Your entire script, it actually won't say it is failed. You see it here, we'll execute the script, right click, run as, that is string test. So it's done. Okay. Now we'll see the result. See, it is saying that paused only. It won't say fail. Why? Because it has executed your entire script. But if you see in your console, it will say, sorry. See, it's okay. So if you see in the console, it is saying that login failed. Got it right? Console only it will see. But I don't want to use this console. What I want to do, whenever it fails, that the result should be passed to this test case itself. That is how we are executing, right? When you are executing, that the actual result column, we will capture the actual result from the system. Then only we will say the status is fail or pass like that. So it means the entire test case. So I need to pass the result to that entire test case itself. Right? For doing like this, there is no option available in Selenium. But in the TestNG, we have one class. That class name is called assert. So there is one class called assertion class. Assert equal. See, you might notice one thing. At the moment I use assert equal, so this is a class and this is a method. It is showing that it is striking out this line, right? Why? Because see, it is importing from where? JUnit. So JUnit is already deprecated. Deprecated means it is that what to say? It is So comparing JUnit, there is some advanced versions are there. So there is a, we are not using that JUnit at all. So now what I will do is I will remove this, and it will ask you to import. While importing, I don't want to import from JUnit, I want to import from where? TestNG. Then once you import it, see it is gone, and we are importing from TestNG. So it means that JUnit is at most it is freezed. So is it clear? Right? So we are importing this class from TestNG, and there is a method called asset equal, and here you have to give your expected and the actual. So what is that expected? Expected you are looking for reservation. Actual, what is this? This is the actual. Clear? Okay. So assert dot asset equal means this assert class contains only this assert methods. Okay. It will verify this and this both are matching or not. If both are matching, it will pass the result to this test case itself. If both are not matching, then the fail also it will be passing to this test case. Now we will execute, you can see it will say that test case itself failed. So it's done, execution done. You can see it here, see that test case itself failed. So it is saying that total number of test cases passed 0, failed 1. Why it is failed? So you can simply, you can refresh your project, refresh it, see that test output folder is there. You can go to emailable report or index report, anything. You can open with web browser. You can see the result. It is saying that failed now. Right? So if you see why it is failed, when you click it, see the first line itself is showing the result. Automatically it will track. What is saying that expected, so that okay, so we need to give ulta. Okay, it is saying that find a flight Mercury tours, but it is not matching with reservation, like that. The same time you can see it in your script also. Okay, the test okay, index report there also. See, it is failed. So once it is failed means once you click it, see that error message, it will capture it here, and there you can find it that the first line itself. So now you no need to pause your result, you no need to specifically write why it is failing like that. Directly it will pass it to here. Got it right? Yeah, fine. Now, again, I will run this once again. Run as TestNG test. Completed. Okay. When you click this, automatically it will show it here. When you see, it is saying that very clearly. In this result also, if it is fail means once you click your test case, on the first line that error message it is throwing it here. When you just click it, see what is your expected value? Reservation. What is the actual value? Find a flight Mercury tours. How clearly it is giving? So just one line of script. What is that? Assert clause. And what method we are using? Assert equals. And it is passing the result to your test case itself. This is how we need to do the testing, right? Actual testing in the sense. You can leave, you can forget this data driven framework. Why? Because data driven framework, we are passing the result to that Excel sheet manually, we are managing it here. But if there are more number of unique functionalities, then that data driven framework does not help us. We need to follow this mechanism.
So in data driven, this assert and all it is not.
We can use it, but if you use again, it is what to say? So we actually cannot align it properly. So there we are manually doing it. What manually? We are making everything, that entire result we are capturing in an Excel sheet. We are actually doing it there only. Here it has a default reporting system.
You can use data table with multiple sheets for multiple
Yes.
sources that we can log in.
Yes. Got it, right? So this is the advantage of TestNG. So why we are calling something as a framework? It has some customized functionalities, so that we can integrate those customized functionalities in your script. Then our work will be easier.
What framework we use?
Now this is not a framework. It is we are using the TestNG. We have to implement that framework after that. So while doing this keyword driven framework and all, we will use this TestNG, and we are using their features. What are those features? We can prioritize that test cases. Till now we did not do it. In our next class we will be doing it, and we can execute by using TestNG only. We no need to execute by using Java. For that we are using annotation. So it means we can replace the main method, and we can pass the test result to that test case itself directly by using assert classes. Yeah. And again we can execute multiple test cases. It means we can create a test suite. We can execute it. We can execute parallel. We can execute our scripts parallelly also. All these things we can do it through the TestNG. Going forward we will be doing it one by one.